different why. Sitting in your clothes versus dying.
Man, YouTube adverts, man, sometimes. Alright guys, so I've been wanting to do a reaction video for a while now, and what I've decided to react to in the end is the Dave Ramsey Show. Now for those of you that don't know what the Dave Ramsey Show is, Dave Ramsey is essentially a talk show host and financial advisor in the US. He has great financial advice. I really like learning from him, but he has a very strong character, very strong personality, and makes it really fun to watch as well. And sometimes, given the stories that come on the show, it's almost a bit like the financial Jerry Springer show. So I'm gonna go onto the Dave Ramsey Show on YouTube and find a video to react to. So let's go have a look. What's up guys, my name is Johnny. Welcome to Millennials with Money. I upload to YouTube every Wednesday and Sunday, giving you tips on how to take control of your money today to create a bright financial future tomorrow. If you like what you see on the channel, please leave a like, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications, and become part of the ever-growing Millennials with Money community. Okay, let's go to the Dave Ramsey Show first of all. Now, I've been debating on whether to react to kind of a normal episode or a funny kind of crazy episode, so we'll have a look and see what's there first of all and decide then. Okay, so I'm 23, making $120,000 a year and can't control my spending. So this could be one or the other or both. I think it's a good one to start with, so let's have a watch.
En Clear Blue siempre nos ha preocupado.
Ah, man, YouTube constantly asking me questions. Come on. Man, YouTube adverts, man, sometimes. Okay, here we go. Get into the good stuff, finally.
This question comes from Caleb in Iowa.
Okay, so sometimes people call into the show and talk on the phone. Obviously, this is an emailed in question, so he's just reading it out.
He says, I'm 23, making $120,000 gross, and so far I've been able to earn my way out of the dumb financial decisions I have made without really changing my lifestyle, and I've struggled following a written budget. I've been at baby step 4 without ever really changing my lifestyle.
And just to give you some context, so the baby steps are a program that Dave Ramsey has that helps you to get out of debt and to get financially free. So that's what he's referring to there. He's on one of those baby steps. So yeah, let's find out a bit more about his story.
Again, at baby step 4 without ever really changing my lifestyle on more than one occasion, but always end up relapsing down to steps 2 and 3. In the next few weeks, I will once again pay off the non-mortgage debt I have and have my 3 months emergency fund. Any tips on getting on board with a more responsible lifestyle at this step so I can quit this cycle?
Man, that's tough. If you're on the road to kind of building wealth or financial independence or getting debt free, whatever it is, you don't stop like once you've got one step done. You need to keep going. You got to keep applying yourself and doing better. I don't know about you guys watching this video, but personally, if I'd put that much work in to pay off debt and to improve my financial situation and I slip backwards, I'd be annoyed at myself. Like, but at least this guy has recognized, you know, there's something's not going right. He needs to kind of change his habits, needs to change his behavior a bit. And yeah, let's see what Dave says. Let's see what Dave's advice is.
23. You are the problem. And I think, and I say that in a respectful way, Caleb. I think you're asking us for advice. I think you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself it's time for discipline and intentionality. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony O'Neal kind of saying it like it is. Yeah, I mean, if you make that progress and then you slip backwards, I mean, you've done some, more likely than not, unless kind of a crisis or a disaster has come in, then something you're doing, kind of a behavior or a habit you have is causing you to fall back and needs correcting. And this guy, I think he read out, he's relapsed a couple of times, so it's not like a one-time event which has set him back. Like it seems to be kind of to do with his behavior, his financial habits.
There's no reason why you should be going back and forth. You don't have nothing major happening in your life. It sounds like you're just making poor decisions. And I always teach this to 23-year-olds, Dave, that the caliber of your future will be determined by the choice you make today. And he's not making the right choices. And that's true.
That's really powerful what Anthony said there. If you're watching the video and you're in your 20s, I'm in my 20s still, I'm still a young man technically. Yeah, like time is on our side, man. Like we have a whole lifetime ahead of us to build wealth. Time is such a powerful thing in building compound interest, in allowing your wealth to grow over time. And if you make the right decisions now, you can set yourself up for the rest of your life or later on in life. Like, don't underestimate getting stuff right at this age. Like, if you get it right now, then things are going to be a whole lot easier later down the line.
You're halfway there by recognizing the problem. When you don't recognize that there's a problem, then you don't have to address it. My dad used to say, knowing that there's a problem is 90% of solving it. A lot of people are just unaware that there's even a problem. They're in the zombie apocalypse and just wandering around, right? And just in a zone. And so I think you're halfway there just by recognizing that there's an issue.
Yeah. So as I said, recognizing that there's a problem there, that something's not going right, it's a good first step. Like, wanting to change is good. Now it's about taking the action. So we'll see what Dave has to say in a second. But yeah, like once you recognize there's a problem, like things get so much easier. You can start understanding what the cause is and what the solution is. So yeah.
What happens is, as we go through our life, we have different things that come into our life that call us to a higher level of nobility. For instance, when you get married and you have your first child, suddenly you will do anything to protect and provide for that child. It takes someone who was self-centered and they grow up almost instantaneously. Other times you can just, it's a matter of like where you are, Caleb, it's just a decision. Like for sometimes I run into people your age, Caleb, that aren't married, don't have a kid, but they're looking at a different kind of a why. You need a big why is what we're talking about. A reason to not lapse. Why is, but right now you just don't have one.
Yeah, so this, now going back to the very first video I ever did for Millennials with Money, is all about goal setting. So recognizing there's a problem is good. Wanting to take action is good. And taking the action, of course, is good. But for that action to persist and to not fall back, like Dave is saying, you need to have a reason to keep going. And that reason is kind of your goal. So maybe you're not quite at the stage where you're like, having a baby, but maybe you're looking to save to get married, or you're looking to save to kind of move into a home, or you're looking to buy a car, like whatever it may be, kind of before you make any decisions financially, or before you go spend money and buy whatever it is, like think to yourself, keep your goal in mind and think, does this impact my goal? Does this set me back? And think about like what reaching that goal will do for you, like what you'll be able to do with your life as a result of that. Like what it will enable you to do, how you're going to feel when you get there. Like it's going to be a great feeling, but like every time you fall back, or you like spend money on something you don't necessarily need, or something that sets you back, then it's delaying like the time that's going to take you to get to the goal. So yeah, definitely having a goal is key, and to keeping you on track and to move forward.
Somebody who wants to lose weight to look nicer in their clothes is not nearly as motivated as someone that the doctor says, if you don't lose 50 pounds and get your cholesterol down, you are going to die. Yep. I have a different why. Fitting in your clothes versus dying.
Yes.
Okay, it's a different kind of a why.
Yeah.
It raises you to a different level of motivation.
Okay, so this is an interesting point that Dave makes. Yeah, I hadn't thought about this. So perhaps for some people, it's like, oh, the crisis, let's call it, has hit. I've lost my job, my future's uncertain, kind of I need to get my act together. So yeah, that's kind of a big motivation for someone to do it. And then the other side is maybe someone who just looks at their bank statement one day and is just kind of looking like look at all of this that I'm spending, and it's not doing anything for me. I don't like it. Like I get paid and I've got nothing to show for it. Just the takeaways, the fast food, the clothes that I buy. So yeah, these are two potential ways that you could end up kind of wanting to change things. Obviously, it could be by force majeure, if you want to call it that, like a big significant event. Or it might just be, you're looking through your bank statement and saying, I want to change my acts. I work really hard to earn my money and I've got nothing to show for it because I spend it all on takeaway and clothes, for example.
One of the things I talk about on my channel is if your why doesn't make you cry, then the price of commitment will make you cry. You need to dig very deep into yourself and find something that just activates that emotional side of you as a young man.
What can make you care deeply?
I could never go back to sleeping in the back of my car. I can never go back to living paycheck to paycheck. I can never do that because what I care about so deeply on the inside just gets me so emotional that it pushes me forward even when I feel like sometimes
and it's how people.
Very personal testimony there, and I agree with what he's saying, but I don't think it has to be based on past events. For example, maybe that is you. Maybe you've gone through a real financial hardship and you think to yourself, I can't go back to living paycheck to paycheck. I can't go back to the struggle of before. But yeah, if you haven't really had a painful or traumatic experience in the past, then maybe you don't need to look backwards, maybe you need to look forwards, and your motivation could be, I don't want to get to retirement age and not have any money saved up for it. Maybe it's, I don't want to go so deep into debt because I can't afford a house. It all comes down to me to kind of understanding the consequences of the actions that you take today. So for example, you could say, oh, if I don't do this, or if I start doing this again, I'm going to end up back where I was. But you could also be, oh, if I don't get my act together today, I could end up worse off in the future than I am today because I didn't prepare for it. So yeah, it's all about mindset and understanding like what will happen as a result of your actions and decisions today. Okay, yeah, nice video. Didn't know what to expect when I clicked on that video, but very informative, very interesting, and some nice lessons there from both Dave and Anthony on kind of getting your mindset right to change your behavior when it comes to your finances. As I've said in one of my videos, it's all good that you want to, get your finances together, make a change. But like sports, there's a mental aspect to it. There's a mental game that you need to master and you need to win. And you have to be on the same page mentally as you are in your actions. If the two aren't aligned, then it's going to be very difficult. So yeah, guys, that's it for this reaction. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you agree with Dave and Anthony, if you agree with some of the thoughts that I shared, why not let myself in the community know and leave a comment below. That's all from today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out the Millennials with Money social media and internet pages, and also the other videos on this channel. I'll see you on the next one. My screen's in the way. Let's get this money.